In this video, we're going to learn about the Canva AI text-to-image generator that you can find within the project interface. As a reminder, this video is part of a tutorial series on the latest AI tools in Canva. So if you want to check out some of those other videos and learn all about the different AI tools in Canva, just check the description below this video and you'll find links to all the different videos that are part of this series. As a second reminder, I do have a couple of free giveaways that are complements to this learning series. So I have my Canva AI tool guide, which is just a quick visual reference to really go over each tool, where to find it, how to use it, tips for using the tool. So just an easy reference you can have handy whenever you're working with these tools. And then the second free giveaway is my visual style guide, which is really going to help you start to learn the language you can use when prompting and creating AI images to really get a variety of great results. So it's going to give you over 100 keywords, descriptions to go along with those, and it's going to really help you start to build that sort of visual language and that library of terms you need to get great results. So I'm going to put a link in the first pinned comment below and also in the description below this video. Sign up for my email and you can get those free guides. Okay, in the last video we started talking about Canva's new Dreamlab for AI image generation, but there is another AI image generator in Canva which exists here within the project interface. So let's take a few moments to look at that and see how it differs from the Dreamlab. So here within the project interface, if you want to access that tool, you're just going to come in here under the Elements tab, and then under the Elements tab, if you scroll down, you're going to find this AI Image Generator, and you're going to hit the plus icon to generate your own AI image, and then you get this interface. So you'll notice that this interface is pretty similar to what we get with the Dreamlab, but there are some slight differences. Now, the first difference to note here is that up top you can return images, graphics, and videos. Let me just say that at this point, you can experiment and play around with this video option, but you can see right here, this is experimental new technology. And so I will tell you that you're going to get some pretty wonky results. If you try to generate anything that's complex at all, there's a decent chance it's not going to give you the best results. For things like abstract backgrounds or things that aren't going to be the main focus of sort of like whatever design you're creating, you might be able to get something with movement that you could use. But a lot of these clips are going to be, first of all, they're going to be really short video clips, and a lot of them just aren't going to be very good because this technology is still advancing. So at this point, I don't think you get great results from this video options. Now, graphics and images, again, I'm not even sure why they have these as different tabs, because you can come in here under the image option, and again, you can give it a particular style. You can tell it that you want to create something that's more like an illustration, that's like a sticker. So for me, you want to put that information here into the descriptor. You don't need to be over on this graphics tab. You have a few more options here, but again, you can type that directly into your prompt. So again, once again, you can hit see all to see all the different styles, and they have lots of styles just like you have with the Dreamlab, but I'm going to give you the same advice where I'm going to say, don't worry so much about those styles. Actually describe what you want here in your prompt. Put descriptors into your prompt. Now, one limitation of this tool here within the project interface is that you are limited to around, I think it's 250, 260 characters, letters that you can use here as you type your prompt. So you can't be quite as descriptive as you can be within Dreamlab itself, because you are limited slightly in the amount of text you can enter here. So that's just one thing to consider. Of course, the advantage of this is that you're already within the project interface, so you do sort of save a step, but again, experiment around and see what kind of results you can get with Dreamlab, see what kind of results you can get in here. Now, there also is a different credit system. It says use 1 of 500 credits, refreshes 11/30/24. So here it's actually giving me the date that this is going to refresh for me. Again, it's telling me the number of credits. This is a different credit system from the credit system you have with Dreamlab. So this is independent of what you have in Dreamlab. So it is nice to just have another tool, but again, you're going to have to experiment around and play with the different results you get from these different tools. So I'm just going to use the same prompt I did before, which I think was something like an elderly woman sipping her morning coffee. Again, very basic prompt. We'll get into how you can make this better, but we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to leave this set to none. And again, you do have aspect ratios like we had with Dreamlab, but not quite as many. Remember, we had that 2:1 option, that 16:9 option inside of Dreamlab. We don't have that here. We don't have quite as many. So I'll choose landscape. We'll go ahead and generate the image, and it's going to go ahead, give us this little animation here, lets us know it's working on it, and it's going to come back with 4 results for us to choose from. And again, each time we do that, just like with Dreamlab, it is going to use 1 credit, but again, this is a separate credit system. Now that's for the pro Canva users. Again, you're going to be limited if you're a free Canva user. If you want to have more credits that refresh monthly like this, then you want to be a pro Canva user. So I can bring these up on screen, and they're not that dissimilar from what we got before with the Dreamlab. Again, I know that Dreamlab uses that Leonardo AI. I'm not positive about this tool within here. So again, experiment around, see what kind of results you can get. Now, once I do click something on screen, once again, yes, it does now show under my uploads. So once you add something to your project, then it'll show under this uploads tab. Then you can save it off to a folder if it's something you want to keep track of. So just another thing to keep in mind, you'll get those options here. If I come back in here, sometimes if you do something else, you lose that sort of image generator. But then if you bring it back up, you should see your last run of the tool in here. So now I can see these images again, but some of these I haven't added to my project yet. So if I want to get back to them in the future, then I would want to add them to design and then probably go under those uploads tab and move them to a folder just so I stay better organized. Now you have the 3 dots just like you do in Dreamlab, but this time we have different options under these 3 dots. So generate video, as I mentioned before, I don't think you get great results with video yet, so I wouldn't recommend using that too much. You can experiment around occasionally just to see how that technology is progressing. But the generate more like this option, basically it takes whatever you have, these 4 images, whichever one you choose, and you choose generate more like this. If there's one that stands out just as a better result, you can choose generate more like this, and it's going to create 4 more images based off that one image you chose, and it's trying to pick up some of the characteristics of that image and keep it pretty similar. Now again, this is sort of hit or miss. You don't have this feature in Dreamlab, so this is an advantage here in this version of the tool, but I will say that a lot of the times you can pick up specifically what you like about the image and then just build that into your prompt. Maybe it's a particular style, a particular element it's focusing on, and more you can learn to use your prompt to get the results you want, and you don't really need this generate more like this feature. Now you can try it out. It's a good way to just quickly generate 4 more that might be more what you want, but again, try to practice getting even better about writing descriptive prompts that are going to give you better and better results. Okay, so again, in principle, though, these tools are pretty similar. You just have different ways of getting to them. One lives here under the project interface. Again, under the Elements tab, come down, find this AI Image Generator, choose Generate Your Own. I wouldn't worry about putting a particular style so much. You can experiment around and see what you can get, of course. But what you want to learn is sort of that visual language you can use right here to get those results and to tell Canva specifically what you want. Now you are going to have to experiment around because it is going to be better at some prompts than others. It's not going to be perfect at creating any sort of thing you asked for. So you just have to experiment around by that. Again, you're going to see your credits update down here. Tells you when it's going to refresh. So this is the AI image generator within Canva, very similar to the Dreamlab, but there are some differences. Okay. Now in the video coming up, I'm going to talk about some good strategies you can use for getting better and more creative results. And those strategies we talk about in this upcoming video, they are going to work for both this tool here and also for the Dreamlab. Okay, so this is just in general some tips you can use when creating AI images with Canva to get better and more creative results.